One day, in search of game, I roved alone to the forest on the bank of the Purna river. Tying my horse to a tree trunk, I entered a dense thicket on the track of a deer. I found a narrow, sinuous path meandering through the dusk of the entangled boughs. The foliage vibrated with the chirping of crickets, when of a sudden I came upon a man lying on a bed of dried leaves across my path. I asked him haughtily to move aside, but he heeded not. Then, with the sharp end of my bow, I pricked him in contempt. Instantly he leapt up with straight, tall limbs like a sudden tongue of fire from a heap of ashes. An amused smile flickered round the corners of his mouth, perhaps at the sight of my boyish countenance. Then for the first time in my life, I felt myself a woman, and knew that a man was before me. With fear and wonder, I asked him, "Who are you?" "I am Arjuna," he said, "of the great Kuru clan." I stood petrified like a statue and forgot to do him obeisance. Was this indeed Arjuna, the one great idol of my dreams? Yes, I had long ago heard how he had vowed a 12-year celibacy. Many a day my young ambition had spurred me on to break my lance with him, to challenge him in disguise to single combat, and prove my skill in arms against him. Ah, foolish heart, whither fled thy presumption? Could I but exchange my youth with all its aspirations for the clod of earth under his feet, I should deem it a most precious grace. I know not in what whirlpool of thought I was lost, when suddenly I saw him vanish through the trees. O foolish woman, neither this thou greet him, nor speak a word, nor beg forgiveness, but stoodest like a barbarian boor while he contemptuously walked away. Next morning I laid aside my man's clothing. I donned bracelets, anklets, waist chain, and a gown of purple-red silk. The unaccustomed dress clung about my shrinking shame, but I hastened on my quest, and found Arjuna in the forest temple of Shiva. Only vaguely can I remember what things I said, and what answer I got. Do not ask me to tell you all. Shame fell on me like a thunderbolt, yet could not break me to pieces, so utterly hard, so like a man am I. His last words as I walked home pricked my ears like red-hot needles. I have taken the vow of celibacy. I am not fit to be thy husband. Oh, the vow of a man! Surely thou knowest, thou god of love, that unnumbered saints and sages have surrendered the merits of their lifelong penance at the feet of a woman. I broke my bow in two and burnt my arrows in the fire. I hated my strong, lithe arms, scored by drawing the bowstring. O love, god love, thou hast laid low in the dust the vain pride of my manlike strength, and all my man's training lies crushed under thy feet. Now teach me thy lessons. Give me the power of the weak and the weapon of the unarmed hand. Had I but the time needed, I could win his heart by slow degrees, and ask no help of the gods. I would stand by his side as a comrade, drive the fierce horses of his war chariot, attend him in the pleasures of the chase, keep guard at night at the entrance of his tent, and help him in all the great duties of a Kshatriya, rescuing the weak, and meting out justice where it is due. Surely at last the day would have come for him to look at me and wonder, what boy is this? Has one of my slaves in a former life followed me like my good deeds into this? I am not the woman who nourishes her despair in lonely silence, feeding it with nightly tears and covering it with the daily patient smile, a widow from her birth. The flower of my desire shall never drop into the dust before it has ripened to fruit. But it is the labour of a lifetime to make one's true self known and honoured. Therefore I have come to thy door, thou world-vanquishing love, and thou, Vasanta, youthful lord of the seasons, take from my young body this primal injustice and unattractive plainness. For a single day make me superbly beautiful, even as beautiful as was the sudden blooming of love in my heart. Give me but one brief day of perfect beauty, and I will answer for the days that follow.
そっちを相手するんやんか。美しい人の方になった時にすごいある種なんかこうそのチトラーマとのこと好きになんねんけど、で美しいやつってなんかしばらくしたら飽きるのよね、あるじゃん。美しい。で他になんかここら辺にはすごいウォリアーの女の人ですごいかっこいい人がいるって聞いて、その人をちょっと探しに行こうってなるので困ったやんか。それでまたアーシナがチトランガタがその美しくなったけど飽きられて、元の私の方を探してる話になったみたいになるやん。でそれってすごい面白いやんか。その内面的なさ、自分を本当の自分じゃない美しい自分みたいなのをシバに頼んで作ってもらったんやんか。でそっちの方にアルジュナは惚れたやんか。めっちゃ悔しいやん、あれ。なんか元々の自分じゃないものを作ったやつの方に惚れて、で中身は見ないみたいな感じやんか。でその悔しさがあって、でも今度はそれに飽きたから、まあ、そういう思い通りやな言ったら、悔しさの。だけど、本当の自分の方を探し出したみたいな、そういうストーリーで、そのまたチトランガがシバに頼みに行くんやから、本当の自分に戻してくれて、その本当に通ずる力を探してるみたいな感じが聞けて、美しい自分になって欲しいものが欲しいみたいな感じでもらえたけど、なんか結局諦められてしまったみたいな感じのそのいい子みたいなのがあって、で今回その頼むのはシバっていうのもすごい素晴らしいと思うんだけど、修行するみたいな感じじゃなくて、その自分のセルフを知りたいみたいな感じで、ただ元に戻って、で結局そのアルジュナもそのものはどうしたからそういうものだったみたいな感じもすごい。
The end is